The Trump administration is getting ready for its first Independence Day celebration in the White House. The focus will be on honoring veterans and military families. Trump is also preparing for the G20 summit. He leaves tomorrow, making a stop in Poland on his way to the critical meeting with world leaders. And the president will have come face to face with Vladimir Putin. The question this morning, will he confront the Russian leader over that country's interference in the U.S. election? ABC's David Curley is at the White House for us this morning with more on that. David, good morning to you.
Good morning, Paula. We are not hearing from the president about that meeting coming later this week. He is tweeting this morning about the North Korean missile launch, but he is preparing for that big G20 summit in Europe. This morning, ahead of his big meeting, the president has been dialing for diplomacy, calling nearly 10 world leaders. But it is his first face-to-face with Vladimir Putin, the man accused of meddling in the U.S. elections, that will get attention. Two men who during the campaign spoke glowingly of each other.
Putin, he said Donald Trump is a genius.
Putin praising Trump, leaving some Democrats wondering if all these kind words led to cooperation during the presidential campaign. The election hacking, contacts between several Trump confidants with Russians, and possible collusion. Now the subject of congressional and a special counsel investigation. For several years, Mr. Trump stated he had met the Russian leader.
Tough guy. I met him once.
But now says this will be their first face-to-face.
Yet you said for 3 years, 13, 14, and 15, that you did have a relationship with him.
No, look, what do you call a relationship? I mean, he treats me with great respect. I have no relationship with Putin. I don't think I've ever met him. I never met him. I don't think I've ever met him.
Syria, Ukraine, just two friction points. The Russians also say they want their 2 U.S. diplomatic compounds back, facilities shut down by President Obama for the Russian interference in the elections. The Trump White House won't say if the elections will be part of the discussion with Putin.
This is very important for us to make a statement that Russia does not meddle, not just in our elections, here and the future, but in our allies.
The Russians are now telling us this morning the two men will be meeting on the 7th, Friday, in Hamburg, Germany. We do not have an agenda, guys, as to exactly what they will be discussing during their pull-aside meeting.
David Curley at the White House, thank you.